The man who stole those ruby slippers from the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids will not serve any more time behind bars. Northern News Now's Madison Green was in the federal courtroom this morning as Terry Martin was sentenced for the crime he committed nearly 20 years ago.
This was a crime against, one of the world's greatest art treasures, the Wizard of Oz. It's important. It's important all over the world.
Monday, a weak 76-year-old Terry Martin, wearing a mask and accompanied by an oxygen tank, was wheeled into the courtroom. He recently pleaded guilty to stealing the iconic ruby red slippers.
And there they'll stay.
He was sentenced to no additional jail time and told to pay $23,500 restitution to the Judy Garland Museum. A sentence John Kelsch, who was director of the Grand Rapids Museum at the time of the crime, is satisfied with. He says the theft caused serious problems for his facility.
Many opportunities were missed because of this crime. Our credibility, borrowing artifacts.
Martin had a criminal history of 14 felonies prior to 1986, but lived a clean life for nearly 20 years, before getting the itch for one last score in 2005 in stealing the slippers. That, combined with the terminal illness diagnosis, led to a sentence that includes no more jail time.
If he wasn't relieved, you'd be crazy. At the end of your life, in my experience, nobody wants to be dealing with anything but dying and resolving things with your family and friends.
Martin was unable to stand during his sentencing. He spoke only once when answering the judge's question, but Kelsch believes it was enough to quiet all of the rumors.
No one can say it was an inside job anymore. All the talk in Grand Rapids. Oh, John Kelsch and the board of directors, they found a way to get $1 million. People actually thought that.
In Duluth, Madison Green, Northern News Now.
And at the time of the robbery, the shoes were valued at $1 million. For 13 years, no one knew where the slippers were until the FBI found them during a sting operation in 2018 in Minneapolis.